You're looking at setting up your first planted aquarium and you're wanting to try your hand at aquascaping, but you're not so sure about what to do. In this introductory guide, we'll explore 9 aquascaping techniques that you can implement that'll serve as invaluable tools on your journey to becoming a pro. Let's dive right in. Using window film on the back of an aquarium can enhance the visual appeal of the tank, provide a cohesive background for the aquascape, and conceal unsightly equipment and wires behind the tank. Additionally, window film is easy to apply, affordable, and can easily be removed or replaced if desired, making it a versatile option for aquarium background customization. If you plan on placing large, heavy stones or decor in your tank, you will want to make use of egg crate as a base. Egg crate is a lightweight plastic grid that will help distribute the weight of these heavy objects across the surface of the aquarium. This technique helps to prevent pressure points that could potentially damage the bottom of the aquarium glass. In my 20-gallon long Amano shrimp tank, both dragon stones weigh a total of 40 pounds, and when you add the substrate, it's another 15 to 20 pounds of weight. By making use of the egg crate, it helped distribute the weight, but I was also able to move the stones around without having to worry about cracking the glass. Using aqua soil under the substrate is a technique used in planted aquariums to provide additional nutrients to the plants and to promote healthy root growth. Aqua soil is a specialized substrate made from volcanic soil or clay-based materials that are rich in nutrients beneficial for aquatic plant growth. Instead of directly spreading the aqua soil across the tank's bottom, some aquarists prefer to place it within a mesh bag. This prevents the aqua soil from mixing with the main substrate layer when planting or maintenance takes place. If you plan to adopt this technique, an additional tip I have for you is to place your root tabs within these mesh bags initially. If you're interested in purchasing some of these mesh bags, check my description below for a link to my Amazon store. Sloping is a popular aquascaping technique used to create depth and perspective in an aquarium layout. It involves gradually raising the substrate from the front to the back of the tank, giving the illusion of a sloping terrain or underwater hill. By using this technique, it makes planting at the back of the tank very easy, as you'll have a deep enough substrate to place the plants in. By incorporating sloping into your aquascape, you can create a visually dynamic layout that enhances the overall aesthetic appeal of your aquarium. Experiment with different substrate materials, plant species, and hardscape elements to customize your sloped aquascape to your liking. Using an odd number of plants or stones in your aquarium is a common practice in aquascaping for several reasons, primarily to create a more visually appealing and balanced layout. In nature, objects are rarely arranged in perfectly even numbers. By using odd numbers of plants or stones in your aquarium, you can replicate the regular and organic look of natural environments, such as forests, rivers, or rocky landscapes. Working with odd numbers also provides greater flexibility and variation in aquascaping. You can experiment with different groupings and arrangements to achieve the desired visual effect, whether it's a dense cluster of odd-numbered plants or a scattered arrangement of odd-numbered stones. In aquascaping, it's common to create intricate rock or driftwood arrangements that require stability and support. Liquid glue and cotton can be used to secure these hardscape elements together, preventing them from shifting or toppling over and even floating to the surface. The type of glue you will want to use is a cyanoacrylate glue, as this is safe for aquarium use. I usually use Gorilla liquid glue, the one with the blue cap. You will want to fill any gaps or spaces that can be used as a contact point with cotton, and then apply the glue to create a strong connection. A little tip I'd like to provide you with is if you'd like to hide these contact points, take one of the extra stones you may have and smash it till it's almost dust-like. Then sprinkle some of it over the contact point while the glue is still wet, and this will create a seamless joint. If you're using a type of stone that cannot be ground up to a fine dust, you can glue moss or an epiphyte plant over the contact point to hide the cotton. It's important to note that if you plan to glue plants, use a cyanoacrylate gel glue. The scatter gravel technique is used to create a naturalistic and visually appealing substrate layout. This method involves distributing gravel irregularly across the aquarium bottom to mimic the randomness of natural substrate patterns found in rivers, streams, or lake beds. When it comes to scattering gravel, you will want to use various gravel sizes that will suit the theme of your aquascape. You will want to sprinkle it randomly close to the hardscape so that you don't create any uniform patterns, but instead, a naturalistic look. By integrating scatter gravel into your aquascape, it'll create a seamless transition between the substrate and hardscape features. Foreground-background contrast is a technique used where short foreground plants are planted in the front of the aquarium and taller stem plants are used in the back. This technique helps create depth, perspective, and visual interest in the aquarium. Here's how you can implement it effectively. Select low-growing or carpeting plants for the front of your aquarium. These plants typically have shorter stems and spread horizontally across the substrate, creating a lush carpeting effect. Plants like dwarf hairgrass or Monte Carlo can help achieve this look. Between the foreground and background, you can incorporate mid-ground plants that add texture and dimension to the aquascape. Some of these plants can be planted into the substrate, or if they're epiphytes, can be glued to the hardscape. These plants are typically taller than foreground plants, but shorter than background plants. Plants like Anubias, Cryptocoryne, or Java fern that have a slow to moderate growth rate and attractive foliage can help complement the overall layout. Towards the back of the aquarium, plant taller stem plants or large leaf species to create a striking backdrop. Stem plants are ideal for the background as they can grow vertically and fill the upper portion of the tank. Plants like Vallisneria, Rotala, and Limnophilia are popular choices for adding height and color to the aquascape. Plant these background plants in groups or clusters to create a visual impact and avoid a cluttered appearance. The slow fill method is a technique commonly used to minimize disturbance to the substrate and decorations and prevent cloudiness in the water when filling up your aquarium initially. This technique comes in handy especially when you have a dirty tank. To utilize this technique, you will want to place a plastic bag or some sort of tray at the base of your aquarium, then position your pipe over it and slowly fill it. By having the water flow over the bag or into the tray first, your substrate should stay intact for the most part. Aquascaping is not merely a hobby, but an immersive art form that allows aquarists to explore their creativity, patience, and attention to detail. Through the mastery of these 9 techniques, you can transform simple aquariums into stunning displays that evoke a sense of wonder and tranquility. I hope you continue refining your skills while uncovering new techniques. If you have any techniques that you would like to share, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you'd like a little inspiration before getting started on your aquascaping journey, check out some of my latest aquarium builds. For more tips and advice, please consider subscribing. I'm Andy, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.